Mine too. Just kidding. No, it's good to see everybody out here tonight. It just turned 7 o'clock, so like I was telling Naomi, it's not a good idea to start doing the program before the live stream starts because people on the internet get angry about those kind of things. But anyway, welcome to this year's Fall Showcase 2021. It's been a couple years since we did one, and we're so glad to be able to have this and to be able to do this thing again that we call Marching Band. So tonight is a thing to get you a little bit on the insides of the workings of the music and the show and things like that. But I just want to make sure I introduce and thank all the people that I get to work with every single day. And we are all especially blessed to work with our assistant band director and the middle school band director, Mr. Ben Wiegand, who's over here. And by the way, his 7th and 8th grade bands are having a concert on Thursday evening at 6 o'clock at the middle school. And so you're all invited for that, to come hear them play some great music, and there will be cookies. So there's another good excuse to go to that too. Standing by Mr. Wiegand is Shane Roki. He works with the drum line and percussion. Not here is Carrie Marino. She's our color guard sponsor and coach, and she's done this here since 1999. So it's been great working with Carrie for so many years. I do want to make sure that I thank my family. I want to thank my wife for putting up with me being gone every Saturday for 3 months. And you know, it's the life of marching band. This is Bandtober, so it's not October, it's Bandtober, and we're living it right now. But anyway, now there's more people to thank as we go through the program, but anyway, it's great to be here tonight in front of you. So, if you've been following us at all, you know a little bit about our show. Our show is called Paradise Found, and the music was arranged by Jamie Whitmarsh. He teaches at Oklahoma City University, and the drill was written by Mr. Greg Bim, who is the director of bands at Marian Catholic High School. So we're very pleased with our drill. Greg did a fantastic job. It's magic. And the idea behind the show is that this is a search for that place, whether it's real or imagined, where paradise does exist. And if you can see, the backdrops kind of represent each segment of the show. And you'll hear in the narration kind of explains the path of the show it goes on by. In the beginning it talks about, you know, you are the universe in ecstatic motion. So we have a star field over there, okay? We have the singing of Fly to Paradise, which is composed by Eric Whittaker. Lily Wegner is the soloist on that, and that's the second panel there. So we have the birds there, the release of the doves, and the girl who's searching for that, right? And then we have the voiceover about the ocean, and then we have an ocean backdrop in the back. And then finally, at the end of the show, to culminate the story, the person searching for paradise enters, makes it. And so that is an image of the stair step up to the sky, to the entrance of paradise, whatever it may be. So it's got kind of a cool theme to it. It uses music by different composers and different bands. I mentioned the Eric Whittaker piece, Fly to Paradise, which opens the program. It also uses Because by the Beatles, which is off of their Abbey Road album. And that's the second area of the show. And then the third end of the show ties in the stuff from the first movement, which also includes music from Paradise by the band Coldplay. So there's something that the kids get. I mean, they understand, they know what Coldplay is and who they are, and they know the song. And so, you know, sometimes after shows, I hear that song come through on the little speakers in the bus as we're driving back home, which is awesome to hear. But anyway, that's kind of the thrust of the show. And there's different elements expressively that kind of help show that, and you'll kind of see those as the show progresses. The band is led this year by drum major Sylvia Hughes, and she's our singular drum major this year. She's doing a fabulous job. And like I mentioned, our vocal soloist and our mellophone soloist is Lily Wegner, so she's just an outstanding musician. She's great. So what we want to do is give you a little bit of insight into how this all works, okay? So beyond teaching the fundamentals about posture and things like that, when it's time to get ready to move and time to learn drill, you teach drill by sequence, which means you have certain pictures, and then you have a certain set of counts to another picture, realizing that the picture that you're making isn't supposed to be a picture to stay there. It just happens in that one count. Everything is in flow from one move to the other. But you have to teach it from picture to picture to achieve the flow between exercises, right? So what I'd like to do is run the band here through the first move after this form. Okay, which is a 16 count move, correct? Okay, so we're going 16 counts to our next set and close, okay? 16 counts to your next set and close, band, okay? So, band, 10, hut, no music, you're just gonna march it, okay? Band, horns up, there we go, 16 counts and close, mark time, mark, 1, 2, 1, 2, resume, march, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, close. Okay, and at this point we would address alignment, okay, where we take a look at our side-to-side alignment, right, making sure that we're nice and even and that we haven't lost spacing and interval, okay? So then we would retrace, which means march back to where you came from, so you're learning your pathway. So band, retrace, 16, band, 10, hut, band, horns up, mark time, mark, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, retrace, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, close. Okay, check your alignment, check everything, make sure you're set. So this is how this happens over and over and over again. And we have about, I think it's 62, 63 sets in this show. that has to be done. And you also have to teach visual elements, which means visual posing and artistic things like that. So that goes in to the teaching of the drill. So those have to be sequenced in. And it's been great having Mr. Wiegand here, because I can be up on the tower and I can say, hey, we kind of need something in this spot here. And he's like, I got it. So then he teaches them something, and we've got something to work with. So it's really cool. Here's the thing. It's been an incredible season so far. We've done 4 competitions. We have placed first in our class twice, once at Washington and once at Pontiac, both by fairly thin margins. Then we went to Morton, and Morton was a preliminary and a finals competition. And at Morton, in prelims, we lost out to IBC by, it was about a half a point, okay? So 0.5 if you're a mathematician. So we get to finals, and we were ranked 4th out of the 12 bands that were performing in finals, so we went 4th from last. And the band, we put some stuff in for that performance and got them revved up, and the band was primed and ready to go. And they had a fantastic finals performance, and they leaped 2 positions, and they finished 2nd on the night, and they scored a 67.35. The grand champion was IBC, 67.45. So that's 0.1. And so we did top out the 3rd place band, which was Manuka. They were 67.25. So these top 3 bands, us being in 2nd, were separated each by 1/10 of a point, which is razor close, okay? So let's fast forward to last weekend at Lincoln Way, where we competed in Class 1A, and the band earned the award for Best General Effect in class, which was awesome, and they read the placements, and Hersher placed 3rd, and Eureka placed 2nd, and Providence Catholic placed 1st. Hersher scored 67.25, or excuse me, 66.30. Eureka scored 66.40. Providence Catholic scored 66.50. So 2 straight shows in a row have been separated by 1/10 of a point either way. So it gives you an indication of how strongly competitive things are in the state of Illinois. And we were by far the smallest school up at Lincoln Way, but they acquit themselves extremely well. So I'm very, very proud of their performance and their work all year so far. So what we're going to do is do a full run of the show for you this evening. We've explained a little bit about the props and about the meaning behind what's going on here. Of course, the color guard design, you'll see them do body work here in the beginning, which is very expressive and helps express the words that Lily is singing. These uniforms were a great grab for us. They pop. They really represent that sort of bird flat in the back. Some of that color is in these uniforms here, so it kind of gives us this unified approach visually. And then you'll see them move to different equipment throughout the show. They'll do some rifle work as we get towards the end, where the show is a little bit more aggressive, okay? And so the color guard is fabulous. It's been great seeing them progress as we go through this fall. But, yeah, they can have some applause. That's good. That's good. There's other elements of the show. There's the electronic elements, and Bryson Hinthorn plays synthesizer and also trips all of the things that use our vocal samples. And our vocals were recorded by a professional voice artist out in Los Angeles for a very nominal fee. She's also the one that did the voiceovers for our 2019 show, or excuse me, 2017 show, Isolation. So she's has a British accent, right? So if you recognize the show from 2017, you'll recognize her voice this evening. And just one last thing, it's sort of rare that we make changes so close to when we go to ISU when we finish out, but we've been making changes all the time. If you've been following the band throughout the fall, you've noticed that the show doesn't look the same from one time to the next. And sometimes there are major changes, and that's by design. Okay, that's based on judges' commentary and what we think would flow better, changing how transitions work, moving the voiceovers to a different area, experimenting with different ways to tell the story and to tell it better and to make it a more effective performance. So it's a shout out to these kids for being flexible and having to learn so much so quickly and apply it so quickly, because you really don't have a lot of time. I mean, you go back in August, you think, October's far away, you know, we got all this time. No, it's gone. All that time is gone, right? It's all gone. And we have 3 more rehearsals, and then we have to go play Saturday at 8:02 at Hancock Stadium at ISU. So if you're in town, you should come on out and catch it. There's a lot of great bands at ISU. It's going to be a fantastic day. So without much ado, I think I'm going to turn it over to Sylvia here. Actually, let me do one other thing, okay? I do want to thank all of the parents that helped put this thing together, because this isn't something that just is done by students, right? And not just done by directors either. This is helped by parents, okay? And our Music Booster president, Becky Williamson, has done a fantastic job below these many years. And I want to make sure I thank her. And Brian Baringa, he's Music Booster treasurer. He takes photos and is basically around the band all the time, which is really great. The husband-wife duo of Mark and Katie Donovan, they help with props and loading of the trailer and all the other sundry things that we do. So thank you. Robin Robinson, who is the trailer boss, and she's been trailer bossing for a little while now, but she can't trailer boss next year because she's got no more kids in the band. So she wants to go on, I mean, she deserves to go on to do some other things and not spend every Saturday with us. So anyway, that's maybe a thing for everyone. Thank you, Robin. All these years has been great. And Sean Trent for driving the crazy trailer. I mean, he's, you know, I'm glad that I could help you get a new truck, Sean. That was one of my major accomplishments. I helped you get you a new truck. So, but and all the parents who come out to shows and help move props and help move pit equipment on and off and stand behind props when it's really windy and we need to make sure they don't travel or fall over. That's a really big thing, and we can't do it without the parent support. So all of us thank you very, very, very much. So I'm going to remind the band, remind the brass that you are not kneeling tonight because of the dirt and the muddy soft areas on the field. So you are not kneeling in part 2, okay? Trumpet quartet, you are not kneeling or in your part 4 stuff, okay? So there's no kneeling, okay? Nix the kneeling. All the other visual stuff is in though, okay? All the other visual stuff is in. So we have changes here even from last Saturday. So it'll be interesting to see how well they put these together and run this show. So I think that's about all there really is to say. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can follow the theme of the story as it's sung and as it's played and as it's portrayed visually. So you learn a little bit more about what's in it and the message that's in there. One thing I did share with the kids the other day when it was raining, well, it was raining like several days. I can't remember which day it was, but we were in the auditorium and we were talking about the meaning of the show. I said, you know, the word Eureka is a Greek word, right? And it means something, right? What does it mean? And one very bright individual said, I found it. Well, that's right. That's the whole, you know, Archimedes leaps out of the